All right, welcome to another episode of Trust Sports. It's been a long week, but we in the building, baby. Liam, how's
Yeah.
your week going? I'll just let you get right to
Yeah.
the glazing. So go ahead.
Man,
I'll let you kick it off. We don't have to do
what
anything else. Let's just kick it off.
what a week it's been. Well, look, we know the reason that we started this podcast mainly was our love of sports, but
Yeah,
also is the fact we have a little rivalry going on. We all know Leak's a Cowboys fan. We all know I'm an Eagles fan. I'm repping
yes,
right
sir.
now. And again, the reason that we started this podcast was we're like, you know what? We can respect each other's opinion, right? Like there's some delusional Eagles fans, there's some delusional
Yeah.
Cowboys fans, whatever. But man, let's talk about the Cowboys first, right? Like let's lead off.
Let's preface this by saying that me and Liam, like, you know how like as a couple you like beef for some reason, you don't know why you're beefing. Like we've been having this like beefing communication. I just don't know what it is. So I'm so happy to hear it.
Yeah. And you know what? Leads to a good audience because all the people that watch us, that's what they want.
Yeah,
But it started with this Cowboys game, and all Sunday, like Malik, you just said, like we were like beefing on Sunday. Like I'm sure
yeah.
you felt the same way. I was like, I can't even fucking talk to this kid right now. Like his team just lost. I'll let him have it. But definitely let's start there, man.
Okay.
The Arizona Cardinals. Give
Yes,
it up,
sir.
everybody. Give it up. Hey, look, now the Cowboys, I think I said this on last week's show. They win the September Super Bowl every year, man, and it's great. And partially it's not your fault, Malik, and it's not the Cowboys fans' fault, right? It's more the media. They're the brand, they're what everybody wants to talk about. But
Yes, sir.
every September, they have this stretch of easy games where they look awesome and Dak looks okay and the defense is different this year. Tony Pollard looks great or Zeke looks fine last year. And then they finally start to play some teams and it's like, same old Cowboys squad.
Yeah.
And then they beat and then they meet the Niners in the playoffs like last year, the last 2 years, I guess. And whatever. We all know the story. I wasn't
Okay, so
expecting it.
I'm going to allow you to go and then let me know when it's okay for me to jump in so I don't
I will. I
interrupt you.
will.
Okay.
I will.
Okay.
And I'll be as gentle as I possibly can
No,
be.
I want it all. I want it all.
So it came a little bit earlier this year. I was a little
Yeah.
surprised. Now the Arizona
Yeah.
Cardinals, Malik. The reason why I was giving you so much shit is because I truly don't think you understand what the Arizona Cardinals organization is trying to do. They told everyone in the NFL without blatantly coming out and saying it in April on draft night when they traded their top pick for another first rounder this year. There's a kid number 13 in USC. We're going to do everything we can to go get him next year. Kyler Murray's out. We have a Pro Bowl safety that we are literally not playing right now. We just put him on the pup list. We signed him to a big deal. There's nothing wrong with him. There's no concerns because we signed him that deal. We just don't want him playing. We bring in a guy, Josh Dobbs, who couldn't even make it as a third string quarterback on the Cleveland Browns. They were ready to ship him out and decided, sure, let's bring him in. And the guy that's been within our organization for years that understands the players, the locker room, and this organization, Colt McCoy, we're going to ship him out. We don't want to win. We'll use Josh Dobbs, who couldn't even make the Browns roster as a third stringer. Forget about backup. And here come the Dallas Cowboys. And listen, to our credit and to my credit, because we all talked about what the shit that Tone was giving you weeks 1 and 2 for winning. I never did. I told you, look, you're taking care of business. You play who's on your schedule. You beat the shit out of who's on your schedule, as you should have. I can't give you any beef for that. But this was one of those games where it's like, okay, yeah, these are the Dallas Cowboys. This is what they are. This is what they will be. And my only fear with them is that this is the final year where Jerry Jones says this is it for Dak and Mike McCarthy. I want them to stay forever. But let's go through some numbers because this is probably what we're getting lost in translation. But it sounds like to me that you were saying the Cowboys missing 3 offensive linemen was the reason that the 2 touchdown favorite Dallas Cowboys lost to a team that's trying to lose and get Caleb Williams.
No, sir. That's why we were miscommunication. But
So there we go. But anyway, let's just go through some numbers, shall we? And this is what really concerns me because I will even staying on that mark of the Cowboys were missing 60% of their offensive line. Fine, I'll give it to you. And truthfully, if it happened,
there's no giving though. There's no giving. That's blatant. Like that's just blatant.
Okay.
That's
Now,
blatant.
again, like I said, if this was against 25, 26 other teams in the NFL, I probably wouldn't care.
That's why that argument doesn't matter to me.
This is a team trying to lose. Here's some underlining problems with the Cowboys and why the mighty Cowboys, the second best team or the best team in the NFC, are not that at all. The Cardinals average 7.5 yards per play. You know that?
No.
On this vaunted Dallas defense, they average
against us. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh,
yeah. I watched. I saw that. Yeah.
7.5 yards per rush. They rushed for over 220 yards.
Yes,
Now,
sir. Yes, sir.
this was very interesting to me too, because this is where bad teams lose these games. The Cowboys went in as 2 touchdown favorites. They had the ball for 10 minutes more than the Cardinals. They had 22 more plays than the Cardinals. They outgained the Cardinals during the course of the game, and they still lost by 12 points. That is what bad football teams do. Call it the one bad week, call it whatever you will. And again, I would understand that. Hey, it's week 3. We played the Jaguars. We played a shit game, whatever. It's week 3. We played the Browns, good, whatever. You played the Arizona Cardinals, and they pulled your pants down from the beginning and gave you the business. And this is why we can't take the Cowboys seriously. And this was another interesting little stat that really concerns me. And I know it concerns you as your quarterback, number 4.
It doesn't concern me, but go ahead.
This is why you won't win anything. That interception to end the game, in which you said, "Oh, yeah, you're forcing it when you're down 12." It was 3rd down. It was a clean pocket. He threw it in a triple coverage, a throw that was perfect to the linebacker, former Eagle, by the way. But you know the Cowboys on the year are 6 for 15 in the red zone. That's 26th in the NFL. And this was something that, because the defense has been so good the first 2 games, we even said it. I said the same thing. Like, Dak hasn't needed to do anything. But this is kind of concerning because even when you don't need to do anything, the red zone is your opportunity. That's your money zone. That's your green zone. And if you're not hitting on those, what were they, 1 for 5 against the Cardinals? 0 for 5 maybe? That's where you're going to lose football games. And this is almost one of those things, like, I've gotten to the point where I don't even, like, it's almost not as fun for me anymore because it's expected, right? Like, Cowboys had great 2 weeks and Tone's giving you shit because of who they played and blah, blah, blah. But then they lose, and it's just like, okay, well, yeah, this is why we can never take them seriously. This is why it's a 3-team race in the NFC, but in reality, it's like the Niners and Eagles, and if something blows up between one of the 2 of them, maybe the Cowboys have an open door. But you even said it this whole time, like, you knew that they can't beat the Eagles. You know they can't beat the Niners. And it's games exactly like this that just get me so, like, no shit. Why are we still giving the Cowboys credit every single year? Like, we see this movie every single year, and they go into Arizona against a team that's trying to lose and get literally fucked up the ass.
Okay. My turn, or you still got something?
No, it's your turn.
Okay. You don't know what a comeback could be, right? So this is why I say you don't understand ball. So what I would say is I love my players. I would stand on the mountain for my players, but it's at the end of the day, it's the curse of Dak and Jerry Jones and McCarthy. Like, I can't sit here, and it's tiring as a fan to be like, I have to sit here and be like, no, the Cowboys are something. Now, this is why I say you guys are dick sucking. You fell for the trap of being a hater because you were looking for something. And like, that's why I love what Dak said. Like, here you go. You got what you wanted. Now, this is why I say this game doesn't matter to me personally. Why I don't give a fuck. And there's a couple takeaways, of course, that I have, and stresses I have. Number one, that defense, that defensive line. And again, I'm the biggest. I don't make excuses for anything. When I walk away from the game, my biggest concern was we let up. I don't even know how many yards we let up, but I was watching them run rampant against our defense. And it was like, I wanted to go pick up that running back from Arizona. I'm like, holy fuck. Like, I want to give him my fantasy team because he's just getting points after points after points. I'm like, he's fucking doing what he wants, right? That's the biggest concern. All right. So this is why I say you don't understand ball. Let's take a look back, right? We have the media. You brought up the media's point of the Cowboys win the Super Bowl every September. The Cowboys do not win the Super Bowl every semester, every September. The Cowboys don't. We've just been winning games. But I've said this from the beginning a couple weeks ago. I said Dak hasn't done anything. And what do I hate more than anything? I hate punting and kicking field goals. And every time we were in the red zone, we were kicking field goals. Every time we were down and out, our defense is what saved us. And now we go into this game, right? And I told you, once our lineman went out, and I said, yo, we had 3 linemen out. I did not know this before this game even started. I turned it on, and I was like, our starting center, Zach Martin, a Hall of Fame fucking guard. I don't even know why he's still on our fucking team. Tyron Smith. I don't know why he's still on our. Like, it just makes no sense to me. Yeah. Get him the fuck out. Ship him out. I'd rather a rookie come in. He's hurt every week, and he does this to us every week. Now, it is not an excuse, Liam, because this is something that I've heard from Eagles fans, and I never said it's an excuse. I understand when your weapons are down and you're down and out, it's hard for your team to manage. When you're missing 3 fucking starting offensive linemen, it's nearly impossible to win a game when you have the most below average quarterback and you put it in his hands. I've said that from the beginning. Anytime you put it in Dak's hand, you will lose the game. And I've said that. I say we beat the 49ers 2 years in a row with a different quarterback. And I stand on that. I've debated this with 49ers fans. Again, it's what ifs. It's bullshit you're pulling out the air. But again, you cannot sit here and say that okay, whatever, Malik, that's an excuse. No. In the National Football League, 3 down linemen is very like that. It's hard to get anything going, and that's exactly what happened. It was hard to get anything going. I do not dismiss the reason we lost. It's a loss to put on that, whatever. Now, here's what I say. I guess Liam must have been in the draft meetings. The media must have been in the draft meetings. I mean, it was one tweet who said the Cardinals are tanking, and the entire fucking media said the Cardinals are tanking. Now, before going into this year, we said that coach is a new coach that is hired, right? Brand new coach.
Idiot. Lost the Super Bowl. Yeah.
Yeah. Brand new coach that comes in. I don't believe that he's going to go into his first year coaching and say, tank for next year, me to come in and get my players, right? I'm going to go after Caleb Williams my first year. Let's just tank it. And then I don't think any head coach would do that. Now, I understand you're sitting here saying Buda Baker, sit Buda and sit Kyle Murray. Kyle Murray was literally losing them games the last couple of years. Like he was losing them games. Fuck him. He's not part of my system as a head coach.
He's not better than Josh Dobbs?
No, I completely say he's better than Josh Dobbs. But at the end of the day, Josh Dobbs is not a bad quarterback. Josh Dobbs played for – did you watch that Tennessee Titans game in the playoffs where I forget who they almost beat? But he came in weak. Like, he came in Monday and played that weekend. Like, Josh Dobbs is not a bum-ass quarterback. And I don't – like, if you need to go back and watch some film, well, mind you, I'll give you that. You could sit here and say we lost to Josh
I know what
Dobbs.
game you're talking about. It was the winner-go-home game against the Jags where they put up like 7 points on him. He played well for Josh Dobbs. Like that. That's exactly my point. Yeah. And you're saying it's one tweet or the media or whatever. No. I'm not saying it. Nobody in the world could ever say it. They are showing you without telling you. They got rid of DeAndre Hopkins for nickels on the dollar. Yeah. They're telling Kyler Murray, we don't want you to play at all this season. Their safety that they just signed long term.
He's fucking hurt. You fucking
that team.
He's hurt.
He's hurt out of nowhere because before then it was trade talk to the Eagles specifically, and then they gave him a mega contract. So clearly he's fine. They are showing you without outright saying
so he won't return all year. So Buda Baker won't return all year.
He might return for a couple games. They don't want to win.
And it's scheduled. In 4 weeks, you will see him playing ball. And I don't want to hear. That's fine, Liam. That's fine. You agree that they're tanking. I don't give a fuck. I don't agree they're tanking because no NFL team is putting out all their fucking players and saying they're tanking. So you mean they're pulling a Colorado next year? This is a whole fucking different team.
Whole different team.
Line, offensive line, defensive back.
Watch what they do. Now it may not be into next year, but they are literally losing for what I told you. What I told you last April, or even before that Caleb Williams is that good that teams are literally trying to tank. We had this complete conversation. The Cardinals are that team, and the fact that you can't see it, like I don't. Again, you watch your Cowboys games, that's fine, but this is where you get stuff lost in translation when you don't look around the NFL and understand what these teams are doing.
I promise you that's an awful excuse, but whatever. You believe in their tanking. I just know as a football player, I'm not going to be playing for a team that's going out there to tank every week. And I know I just know that is the probability of it is high, but it's like, I just don't believe that players are just going to say, you know what? I'm putting up all my backups in, and we're going to play this way and play for 17 fucking weeks. I just don't like that. That to me is just
as a player. Sure. As a player, yeah, you're going to go out there. But if I put in a shit player and he gives me his best against the best in the world in the entire NFL, there's only so much that player can do.
Okay. Whatever.
That's what I'm saying.
You want to stick on Josh Dobbs.
You can't.
That's fine. You want to stick on Josh Dobbs. No one
I'm
made
just saying anybody. I'm saying anyone on their team.
Anyone, whatever. And I would sit here and tell you, it just baffles me that Eagles fans, like I literally fucking sat here and I did not become that fan that said injuries do not fucking mean anything. I said, no, injuries make a huge fucking difference. Let's go. Let's fast forward to our defense. Let's break it down to X's and O's now. The defense, the Cowboys rank as one of the top leading defenses to play man coverage. Thursday, the fucking one of the best defensive backs in the league goes down out for season Thursday night. You now figure it out and say, all right, now we have to step up on offensive, defensive side and make a change. What is his name? What's his name comes in? Deron Bland comes in. Let's up 0 yards, right? But you know what that goes to? The one thing we both said we fucking hate. Now I can't play man. And we both love, I'd rather you beat me in man than beat me in zone. And that's exactly what they beat us in. They beat us in zone all day long and blown coverages. Destroyed us that way. And mind you, ran the fuck out of our defensive line. But I don't take heat to Josh Dobbs beat the Cowboys. Josh Dobbs didn't beat the Cowboys. Injuries beat the Cowboys. Preparation didn't beat the Cowboys. Our fucking soft-ass defensive line beat the Cowboys. But there's a lot of reasons you lose a game, not just it's the fucking Cowboys' way of losing the game. To me, that's just a hater, dick-sucking way of saying the Cowboys would be the Cowboys. That's not true. Because if this week we play the Patriots and the week after that we play San Francisco, then I would say, Liam, you know what? This is the team that's here. I still understand when 3 linemen are out, Trayvon Diggs goes out Thursday, and you're asking us to step up. The only thing I can say take away from this game is Dak, and our defensive line needs to step the fuck up. No matter what, it's learning curve for our defensive backs to learn, like, all right, now we need to learn covers. Trayvon Diggs goes down. It's step the fuck up time, learn our zone, and come back stronger. But for every other component, we served Arizona on a platter the best possibility to beat the Cowboys. I would say they do not beat us without our injuries. Fuck Trayvon Diggs.
I hope not.
No. That's what I'm saying. That like Trayvon Diggs, I love you, bro, but I'm not saying that missed component is the reason we lost the game. The reason we lost the game is you put the game back in Dak's hand. You put the game in Dak's hands with no protection. You have Dak rolling out under pressure. It's the worst possibilities all the time. And then you say, okay, now it's down and out, and now it's on our 2 guys we hate, McCarthy and fucking Dak. McCarthy cannot call play calling down in the red zone at all. I mean, I looked it up. In their last 9 red zone dives, they didn't end in a touchdown.
Yeah.
And the yard lines of the 2, 17, 3, 8-yard line, 12-yard line, 8-yard line, 4-yard line, 8-yard line, and 6-yard line. That means in the 10, we don't score. Now, what does that go back to? That goes back to inconsistencies with Dak, and that goes back to play calling. Those are 2 of the worst components of the reason we lost the game. And then that's why I say, like, I get the hater. I get it. I get the Cowboys, they can come down. But if you can't break down the X's and O's of why we lost the game, then I don't want to hear it. I don't want to get the DM saying, you guys suck. You lost to the worst team. They're literally tanking. No. If you could tell me why we lost the game and understand it, be like, you know what? You're right, Malik. I mean, you guys still fucking lost. I'll take that on the fucking head. But
what did you just say?
Josh Dobbs.
But what did you just say? No, because I use Josh Dobbs as an example. I'm not saying
that's what I'm getting. I'm getting that in the DMs.
Oh,
you guys lost a dumbass quarterback.
Josh Dobbs didn't do anything. He did exactly what he threw for 150. Like, that's not that. My problem is that they were the same Cowboys, right? That's what I led in with. And we're all circling this big argument back around to what you just said and what you agreed with me. This is the same Cowboys because at the end of the day, whether it be at the end of the season against the Cardinals, Patriots, Niners, whether they fucking, by the grace of God, make it to the NFC Championship, it's going to come down to Dak and McCarthy, and they don't have it. It's just the same cat. So that's exactly what my argument is.
It's too early to call that. I say it's too early to say that the same Cowboys that's going to be the Cowboys in December.
I don't think it is because this isn't like
give me the 49ers at least. Give me the 49ers
for 8-9 years. McCarthy's been there for 5 years. You've seen this movie over and over, especially you as a Cowboys fan watching it. Clearly, nothing else matters.
It is a completely, as a fan, I've always said, I never call for a Super Bowl team. This is a different team going into these games. And I was like, okay, I see a way better Dallas Cowboys fan. Yeah, this week's pushed us back. But I'm going to give myself, I can say as a fan, you could cancel us all you want. As a fan, I want to see us against, Bill Belichick, and I want to see us against Kyle Shanahan. I want to see how we can fare up as a total team against those teams. After that point, you would get a fair analysis of the Cowboys from me, but it's too early for me. Liam, if this happened to your team, you'd be saying the same thing. It's fucking week 3, or what is it? What was it? Week 3, week 4?
Week 3.
But because the Cowboys have that dick sucker haters and they've shown you in the past, that's what you're going off of.
Now, look, let me ask you this question, honestly.
Like, remove the past. Do you still say that?
Okay, remove the past. Look at just week 3 and everything else that's going on, right? Like, let me ask you honestly this question. You saw your Cowboys team, they missed Trayvon Diggs. I understand that. But the biggest problem in that game wasn't the secondary. The biggest problem in that game was your front, which is supposed to be the strength of this defense, arguably the strength of the entire team. Yeah. That's where your money's made. We saw that weeks 1 and 2. Mm-hmm. You see James Conner and the Arizona Cardinals rush for 220. Yeah. And you look at the 2 monsters that are sitting in front of you, the Niners and the Eagles, that are literally 1A, 1B, and doing what? Running down your fucking throat. We'll talk about the Eagles in a minute. And that's exactly what they've done the past 2 weeks. So does this really not concern you at all that you watch what the Cardinals did? I don't care if it's week 3, week 5, week 17. You see what the Cardinals did, and you don't have any. You really think that it's not going to be a problem when the Niners or the Eagles see them?
Oh, no. I think it's going to be a problem, but I'm not writing it off. I say the only takeaway was the run game. That was the only one I was like, I did not see that coming. I would have in 1,000 years would have bet like, no, we don't lose running. Like I would have hand up, say Michael Parsons, turn off the fucking mics and get back into your bullshit because you let up the
Yeah,
gas.
he's worried about Tyreek Hill and now James Conner.
He fell
which
into
is the same
he
thing.
fell for the hype. He fell for the we've been dominating these week 2, week 1 games. No, I didn't fall for that. But again,
I'm not saying you. I'm saying that's what I mean. Like, this is the same team. Like, we had this conversation with Micah Parsons. Like, he just talks and doesn't back it up. It's the same show with Dak and McCarthy. Like, this is the same thing.
Winning defensive player of the year more than he is. So I mean, he had 1 week off. Let's see how he bounces back these next 2 weeks to say shut the fuck up to the. No matter what, I'd rather you do all this and say shut the fuck up to the Eagles and 49ers. I don't give a fuck about beating. Yeah, beat them the fuck up. Yeah. Stop the run. But I think it's just crazy that there's just it just doesn't. I just hate the write-off of this is the Cowboys already showing you that they're the Cowboys. How about them boys? And Tyler, I love talking to Tyler because Tyler brings up a great point. Tyler goes, yo, like I was like, I'm fucking tired of people talking shit to me. Giants fans coming to me. It's like he's like, well, if you're not,
that's crazy.
If you're not Eagles or Cowboys fans, don't come up to me and talk shit because there's no rivalry with anyone fucking else. I don't want to get it from anyone else. I don't want to hear it's people just posting like, how about them boys? And I'm like, holy, like my boy my line brother who's a Jets fan was like, yo, I never knew how much hate the Cowboys get. Like I never knew it was this deep. I was like, fuck yeah, bro. Like people wake up loving that the Cowboys failed, and it's like only because the media loves it. The media loves to rank the Cowboys up. The next week, bring them fucking back down. Let's just say we go against the Patriots and we put 30 up on them and fucking zoot them the fuck out of here. We'll be right back to the Cowboys figured it out. They're in contenders. Exactly. Like it would just be the same thing. But it's like all I ask for you guys is don't fall for the trap of speaking on this is the Cowboys. This is what they have shown us. This is what like let me get it until week fucking 5 at least to be like season's over or. I like I said, Liam, I don't know what this team is until they go against the 49ers. That's what I said. I said we can go ahead and win all these, and I never expected a loss to the fucking to them as well. But give me to week 5, and then let me see how we play against the 49ers, and then that's how I can judge my team going forward. Even if we won every game from this point out, I would never sit on a high stake of like, yeah, it's good to win, but no matter what, we haven't been tested yet. But now we've been tested, punched it in the fucking mouth. That team had a lot more to show up on it. I would tell you right now, that isn't a team that's looking to tank. That's a team that's hungry and looking to prove something. I bet you they're not. They probably gonna be what, second to last now with the who else is in last place? I heard people talk
like
about
the
Texans.
Bears and
the Bears. I'm sorry. Like I don't compare them to them, but that was a good ass fucking team that showed up. Like at the end of the day, I was like, all right, well, I mean, they went up what, like 13 on us, like. That,
yeah.
Like,
it was honestly, it was over from the start.
Yeah, it was over from the start. But again, like I said, Liam, it's one of those games. You know how you turn on the Eagles and you're like, oh, today is one of those days. Like it's one of those days where it's like you could tell we're just not prepared for this game at all. And at the end of the day, like, yeah, fuck it. It'll be an excuse. I'll write it off. 3 down linemen with a below average quarterback, you're doomed from the beginning. Like it's just the writing's on the wall. Like I don't know what else to tell you.
Yeah. But again, now with that though, like to wrap all this up, the reason that I'm saying I'm writing them off is because like what did we talk about, right? Quarterback and coach isn't changing, at least this year. We just talked about 3 linemen down. Really, 2 of them you'll probably get back. Tyron Smith's never available. And if he is, he'll be there for what, 5-6 games?
Yeah.
And then again, what's really concerning is that defense. Trayvon Diggs is not coming back this year.
Yeah.
I'm not using it as an excuse. It sucks ass. I texted you. I wasn't rubbing it in. I was like, this fucking blows. But he's not coming back. And I'm not saying like, what's the one dude, the idiot on ESPN? It's like, oh yeah, he got hurt. Cowboys do what they do. I'm not saying that. I'm saying like he's not coming back. You have to rely on your other players on that defensive side, more specifically the defensive front, that is supposed to be a strength. And when you see a team, whatever, they're a bad team. We can both agree on that. They're not a good football team. When you see them run up and down the field, I don't know how you expect us to say anything else other than this is the same Cowboys team. They'll make the playoffs. They will have a run at the NFC East because they'll beat up on the teams that normally they're supposed to. Mm-hmm. When it comes down to it in the playoffs, they're going to see the Niners or the Eagles. It's going to be.
I love how you keep bringing up the Niners. You know what's crazy? Why don't we talk about the Niners being in the same position as the Cowboys? I mean, every year we fucking hype up the Niners. They haven't won a Super Bowl since when? When was the last time they won a Super Bowl?
I'm fine with doing that.
But that's what I'm saying. I'm saying like I'm taking.
You're right. You are right.
But why don't we fucking the Niners went to a Super Bowl, lost Super Bowl. They had one of the best defenses of all time in that fucking defense. They had fucking my boy Cap and still they lost against the Ravens. But why every year we hear the same thing about the Niners are a strong team. They can't be stopped. Oh, injury plague. Oh wait, now you're handicapped with not having a fucking quarterback. Welcome to my world, right? And having all great positions, right? Well, and you have one of the best coaches of all time coaching, right? And they still can't figure it the fuck out. They haven't been able to figure the fuck out. And every year you beat up on the Cowboys and you don't fucking figure it out. So we need to start talking about the fucking 49ers if we want to keep it real with everybody, because the Cowboys are just shitting on more than anyone else.
I agree with you, and this is not me coming at you or whatever. I'm just saying it probably is because they've had those Super Bowl appearances, they've had those NFC Championship appearances.
Oh, for sure.
What, 2 of the last 3 years? Like the Cowboys have shown the inability to not even make it past the second round.
Hey, we got one.
That's where it's done. Yeah, like it's one and done. If you get one, like you'll beat up on a team in the wild card round.
The 49ers have shown up. They beat the Cowboys 2 years in a row to get there. So like,
and exactly that too.
It's vice versa. Like if you want to play this game, like the 49ers are in the same position, but we keep it quiet on the 49ers because they have such a past, a history, the last Super Bowl. They have these little wins that keep them out of being out of the conversation of the Cowboys. So you mean to tell me if the Cowboys go this year and make to the NFC East Championship, they're okay now? Now that they don't tank, they can win a playoff. That's not gonna be in arguments anymore. I'm not gonna hear that bullshit. I'm gonna still fucking hear it. Like, fuck out of here. But I just think it's time that, I mean, hey, it's okay I understand why you want to write them off, but as a fan, I gotta at least make it to week 4. I have to make it to at least 4 or 5 before I'm like, throw this shit away. This is why I love college football more than anything else.
Yeah.
This is why I stick to my Ohio State boys. We'll talk about them later. But I think that it's going to hit the Eagles. It's going to fucking happen. Your day is going to come. And I can't wait for this fucking day because I think the Eagles are not as good as we think they are. And I wanted to hear your perspective from watching this game because I turned on the film. And again, I think it's another year. Last year, you guys were known as like the second half team, right? That was a big thing for the Eagles, like second half team.
Yeah.
I feel like it's the same thing this year. I wonder why. I don't understand why that's such a I don't understand why you guys can't come out as fast. What do they call it? The Broad Street push, whatever.
The brotherly shove.
The brotherly shove, and stuff like that. So I turn on the TV, I see the Eagles, I see it a close game. I just send the eyes emoji, and it's the difference in. First of all, I gotta call out Liam. Liam is the biggest for clicks for the podcast. Liam would not want to jump on live because Liam has to watch the fucking media to get his takes on the Cowboys, and I understand, Liam. I understand you don't want to come on live.
Because I didn't want, because you were talking like a delusional Cowboys fan.
No, I was just like this. You were understanding me. You were understanding. Give me the chance of answering my face, at least, so you could be like, all right, Malik, I understand exactly where you're at now. Because you sounded like a fucking female that it's just, I'm just going back and forth in a text, and I'm like, oh, we have miscommunication, brother. You're not hearing me right. You're not hearing me right.
When I'm busy, there are times where I'm busy. Cowboys lost, not my whole world. Wanted to make sure you knew.
For the podcast, it's your whole fucking world.
Wanted to make sure you knew what you were watching. Apparently you didn't.
I watched a little bit of it pop, and that's all that mattered. But watching that Eagles, I haven't been impressed. I mean, the Eagles are doing what they have to do, right? They're winning games. That they're struggling in the beginning, and they're getting it together. Your defense is your stronghold again. Like we said, I think this is gonna be another run of your defense having to step up. You could say it's chalking up to Hurts' flu game. This was his flu game. He still pulled it out. But what is your perspective on the Eagles and how they're looking so far shaping up?
Yeah, a couple things.
Wait, one question: who's better year? Who do you think is better right now? Last year Eagles or this year Eagles?
At this point,
like when you were at this point last year,
probably last year's team would beat them. Now, and again, this is why I was concerned with, and we talked about the first 2 weeks. Like, I'm concerned about the offense, and it's not because of Jalen Hurts. It's not because of the weapons. Like, it's all there. Yeah. I just don't think this offensive coordinator is NFL ready. I just don't. And he's kind of showing that. And to be honest with you, as a team, that Monday night game was probably the best game that they've played. Offensive side of the ball, I don't even know if we've seen a C+ game from them yet. I don't. Like, it's almost been hard to watch. But with that, they are still 3-0, and they've still shown the ability to literally say, you know what? We don't have it passing tonight. Hurts has the flu, or the rain in New England, or like the Vikings game, it kind of took like a couple big plays, but like other than that, it was kind of stagnant. We're just going to run it down your fucking throat. Like, we know our offensive line's best in the league. I told you about DeAndre Swift, how good he is.
He's not that good.
And he should. All right, he's whatever.
You put it behind. You know what? I'm going to put a great, why you said Zeke isn't that fucking good. Put him against that all-American fucking offensive line, you get that. Anyone, you put anyone behind there, you get that.
No, it's not that, because we've had other running backs this season that are not putting up 170 yards a game, but whatever.
But we'll see. Just remember I said this, Liam. Just remember I said this.
We will, and it won't continue because you have to figure this passing game is going to get clicking at some point.
Here we go. There's the reach. I wanted to see it. The switch up. That's crazy, Liam. The switch up.
I'm telling you, you just don't get 175 yards on accident. I've
for
seen
sure.
other running backs in this offense. I've seen Miles Sanders in behind the same offensive line. You literally said last year the Eagles had no running backs that couldn't do anything. If that were the case, then you're proving your own theory wrong. But Eagles have not played a C-plus game on the offensive side. We know what this is. We know the defensive front is the best in the league. Fuck the Niners. Fuck the Cowboys. This defensive line is the best D-line in the league. I told you they let the Eagles get the best player in the draft.
I think you're right on that one. You're right on that one.
He's better than I really thought he was going to be.
Yeah.
The fact he's doing this soon.
Yeah.
Like I think the first half he had half a sack, 2 tackles for loss, and a forced fumble. First half. Yeah. You don't see D tackles do that for a game unless their name's Aaron Donald. He's doing it in halves. It's fucking nuts.
I don't think he was again. I still stand by my. I don't think he was the best player in the draft, but he's the best player to come out of that. Like I mean, like now to show like it's crazy.
I don't know. I don't know. They need to get it clicking. Jalen Hurts has looked bad. He has looked bad. He hasn't had the flu for 3 weeks, and he's looked
to the Cowboys.
He's looked bad. He'll figure it out. I'm concerned about the offensive coordinator. On the flip side, very impressed with the defensive coordinator, Sean Desai. He's drawn up very creative schemes. He's blitzing a lot more. I don't know if you saw the safety. I forget when you were. But like shit like that, the Gannon would never do.
Yeah.
And that we've seen defensive coordinators kind of like play back a little bit, rush the 4, like just don't let them get the first down, right? They're not playing aggressive to get the safety. They're more concerned with let's just win the field position battle. I saw Nolan Smith play coverage against Mike Evans on a short route on 3rd and 4. I saw James Bradbury move from the outside to the inside and play slot because we're down to our 4th string slot cornerback because they know the Bucs like to play Godwin in on the slot and we're not going to have them beat him. And it worked. So things like that I'm seeing, like the talents there, they've been banged up in the secondary. They finally got one of their starting safeties back down to like their 4th string safety on the other side. Our nickel corner, who's probably one of the best in the league, is out for the year. So they've been banged up, but they still keep coming to fucking play. And it's one of those things where I'm not too concerned right now because I just look at the schedule. You have Commanders at the Rams at the Jets the next 3 weeks. You're going to win those 3, and you're still probably not going to have to play in a game. You see the Dolphins come into...
These have been close games, though. You're still playing close games for at least the first
scores,
half.
I will say the scores make them closer, especially the Vikings game. That was their secondary. We had one starter on the secondary, and Kirk Cousins and Jefferson, and like they were just throwing bombs. Like they had 2 deep touchdowns. But if you look at this game, this past Monday night game, the Eagles fully fucking dominated it. They've dominated it. They ran it down their throat. Just look at the last drive.
Yeah.
The Buccaneers scored. You think you're getting back in this game. They ran it for 8 minutes. Game over. Let's just get out of here with the fucking win. So the fact that they're winning these games and have still not even played anywhere close to what you just said they were last year.
Yeah.
I'm going to take that as a good thing rather than a bad thing.
So it's the brotherly you love push or whatever it's called. Is this hurting the way of football?
I don't think it is.
Well, as a fucking fan,
of course, yeah. Truthfully, though, and Tom Brady, go look up Tom Brady quarterback sneak. You'll find thousands of articles. I saw a couple today that are literally headlined Tom Brady changing the game. Like in a positive way. In a positive way. And not only that, last time I remembered, the Eagles don't have a trademark on this play. Every other team can run this play, and they've tried, and they just don't succeed. It's our quarterback squat 600 pounds, and you have the best offensive line in the league. Fucking stop it. Do something to stop it. I'm tired of hearing people bitch about it. Your boys at Barstool wishing him hurt, or guys saying go kill him.
Yeah.
Fucking stop it.
I just think that so I was like, when I actually was watching the photo, and I'm like, how the fuck would I stop this play? And I was like, you know what I would do? Just literally rugby style it against them and just let the okay, you know what? If it's the one, they're not going to do it, but let's just say like for some reason, like someone's able to stop them. And then the next they do it again. And then they're like, no, we're doing the same.
Which has happened. It happened this past Monday night.
Yeah. And let's just say the Eagles are like, you know what? Now we run it outside. Everybody thinks we're going up the middle. Let's just flank it out and throw it outside.
They tried that too.
Yeah.
So in the first half, I don't think you saw it, but it was a horrible play. Like they definitely didn't practice it enough. But like Hurts was under the gun.
Yeah.
Faked in, dropped back. It was a mess of a play. But you're right. I mean, there's just going to be different ways that they can combat it. But this is what the NFL is.
Yeah.
It's a copycat league. It's new innovation. Go figure out a way to stop it. And by the way, Malik, like, are we just setting up the ball for the Eagles first down and 1 every time?
Yeah.
Maybe stop them on the first 3 downs. I don't know.
Yeah. And that's what I said too. I was like, it's so weird how they have like fucking 4th and goal at the 2. I'm like, how often?
I know.
Why is it always fucking at the goal line? I'm like, how does this fucking happen? I've never seen a team have so many goal line stances because they just truck down to like the 1 and just can't just get the fuck in. But I'm here for it. I mean, at the end of the day, it's only gonna last for a certain amount of time. Like that play is only gonna work for a certain amount of time until someone figures it out. I saw a post. It was like the only way you stop this is one guy has to have a knife, and that's the way you.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, I mean, it happens all the time, right? You see it with the pistol, you see it with the Wildcat, you see what Harry. Like it's just offenses have their time, and then they go away. You know, a new play will come, and someone will figure it out
every year.
Yeah, someone's gonna figure it out, and it's gonna work out. I don't think it's bad for football. I mean, it's if anything, as a lineman, you love fuck hurts. As a lineman, you love that shit.
I was just about to say
love it.
Well, I was just listening to the Part of My Take podcast, and they were talking to the Texans fullback, and they were like, "Yeah, we just ran it, and I fucking loved it. Like I got right in there. Like that to me, that is football.
That's man.
That's football. Like fucking man to man, head to head. Fucking go after it.
Yeah.
If you can, and here's another thing because JJ Watt I saw just mentioned this too.
Oh yeah, what did he say?
He's for the tush push or the brotherly shove, whatever the fuck you want to call it. Okay. If you do take it away, he's like, I hate to tell you, Jalen Hurts is going to be quarterback sneaking on 4th and 1s and still getting it 90% of the time.
Yeah, that's what Stevie said. Yeah. He was pissed. He's like, he's the strongest quarterback. Yeah. Like, okay, what the fuck?
Like now we're gonna put a ban. Like, oh nope, Eagles have to pull Jalen Hurts for all 1 yard to go.
That's gonna be crazy. Yo. I actually had this like playing center all through high school. We had we were down. I remember we were down to 1, and sometimes you go silent count. Like, there's no count. You just snap it so they don't even know your count. And I remember going in, and we never had that. And I told the quarterback, I was like, yo, silent count. I'm just going to snap to you and just follow me. And we got it right up there. I just snapped that bitch and just took off and sent him into the end zone. It's the best feeling to be like, fuck you. Like, just wake the fuck up moments. I love it. I mean, it sucks. Like, yeah, you like learn to stop it, but that's what every defense is. Last thing, the Cowboys, before we move on to college ball, I think this is a great test for Dan Quinn. I'm really excited to see like how he bounces back. If anyone can be coached, it's our defensive coordinator, and I know he will bounce back stronger. And that's what I'm excited to see. Like I know it's like a downfall, whatever it may be, in that case. But again, I know everyone. This is a big week for the Cowboys. We're having to go against our boy Zeke at the Patriots. It's going to be huge. But
wear your jersey?
Yeah, hell yeah, bro. I'm gonna have, that's why I texted you. I was like, I don't know if you realizes it. But one thing the Cowboys are doing, I love to see, is that they brought out a fullback. And I think that you're going to start to see the change. Fuck giving the ball to Pollard. Pollard hasn't shown me enough yet, but fuck giving the ball to Pollard and putting it in Dak's hands. Put it in my fucking, they call him the Hammer. His name is Hunter Lupica. Look out for him. Fullback. Okay. We used him a lot in this game, and I was like, oh shit. I haven't seen the Cowboys use a fullback my entire watching. Maybe since the Tony Romo days. So like early Tony Romo. Like I love seeing it. So I expect that to be a huge change in our red zone offense as well. And Ferguson, we didn't use one of the bets I lost was Ferguson for a touchdown and fucking Pollard for a touchdown. Lost that right off the bat. It's just one of those games that it just happened. But I'm not writing this off. All my students talking shit too. Like I hate my students talk shit. And I can't talk shit fucking with them, curse them out. So I was like, you have to look at my students. And then one was like, I'm not your student. So I DM'd him going the fuck off on him. Yeah. I was like, you're right. You transferred already. I forgot.
I will say the Giants fans coming at you is wild.
Like, that's what I said. I was like, they're like, yeah, but it's the Cardinals. They're legit tanking. And I was like, so what excuse is that for you to suck this much? But I did see a stat that Daniel Jones in every year, oh man, where's it at? I don't have it. But every year he is under pressure this year. 50% of the time he drops back. 50% of the time that he drops back is crazy. But I have been out of the gym. I haven't been able to work out. It's called a stitch on the side. It's pretty much like you have a cramp all the time, and it's because of watching the Ohio State Notre Dame game.
Mm-hmm.
I went crazy at the end. I jumped up. I went ballistic, and now I have like this stitch here. I can't even fucking. I can't. It feels like you have a cramp the entire time you're lifting and working out, so it sucks. But shout out to the boys. Big OHIO in the building. Probably this sucks. It's back-to-back the best weeks of football I've ever watched, with Colorado being Colorado State and then Ohio State Notre Dame. Like this is the best games I've ever watched. It's always awesome to beat up on Notre Dame. I love during that game, yo. If anything, you could say I'm a realist. I'm a delusional Cowboys fan when I'm with Ohio State. Like I hold that like winning mentality for Ohio State crazy. That like if I lose or if I like the coaching is bad, get him the fuck out. Like I'm about that with Ohio State. So Ryan Day, he's on his last leg in my eyes. I say if he doesn't beat Michigan, doesn't matter. You beat Notre Dame. You have to beat Michigan at the end of the year. And if you do not do that, I think he's out of there. And it's sad to see. And he kind of hinted to that as that end of the game speech, I needed that. Like as a fan, I needed to
Yeah.
see that Ryan Day because I saw that from Urban, right? I would see those things like I needed to see that from Ryan Day, but to pull out a victory, no time or 1 second left on the clock, 1 yard line, man oh man. Oh, I'm sorry, it's not it wasn't man oh man, it was man on 10.
Yeah,
On
I
the
was gonna
field.
say
It wasn't man on man. But it was an amazing game to see, and they've done that so many times. Have you seen the film coming out now? Notre Dame not recognizing they only have 10 guys on the field. Like it's
yeah. And did you
crazy.
hear the excuse the fucking coach said? I didn't want to get a penalty.
No, all I heard him say was like we have to be better next time. I didn't see him
Yeah,
like say anything
they
else.
asked him like, and apparently they knew on the sidelines. They now have developed a signal to give to the cornerback that's playing closest to the sideline that if that does happen again, like you said, it's happened before, that they can like signal something to, I don't know, signal something to the sideline and bring him on. But I think the reason that they knew that there was 10 on the field, but he didn't want to rush another on, risk a penalty, and then give them a free play. I was like, dickhead, you have one play either way. Take the
Yeah.
penalty. What are they going to move you up the ball an inch? And then
No,
at least you have 11, bro. It was crazy. You have to look them up
for being offsides. I mean, there's no other penalty. As soon as you see it, send them. And fuck, it's offsides.
Exactly.
Yeah, like
Yeah, and he didn't want to take the penalty. He rather would say, yeah, no, let me have the gap wide open for Ohio State.
No, that's bullshit. He didn't fucking know.
No,
he didn't know
I
until
agree.
he went inside and they showed him the film.
Exactly.
And he's pulling that bullshit. But the rankings are out. Georgia 1, Michigan 2, Texas 3, Ohio State 4, and Florida State 5. We could talk about Oregon. We kind of knew that game was going to happen between Oregon and Colorado. I think that I love it. I love it for the sport. I love the shit talking. I love Oregon coming out. I love Oregon's head coach, what he was saying in the locker room. But I definitely said going into the season that you could tell that the bullseye is on Deion. People are trying to beat Deion. They're not trying to beat Colorado. They want to beat Deion and beat the media and say we deserve to be here. That was Oregon's best chance. They had to do that. They need to appreciate Colorado put them on the map because in reality, no one's watching Oregon until let's see. Like no one's if Colorado still sucks, no one's watching Oregon versus Colorado. No one's watching Oregon versus Stanford. Like the Pac-12 now is on the map. They're lucky the Pac-12 is on the map because now you go this week Stanford easy W, but then you play Washington, then you play Washington State, Utah. So it's like we're going to see a lot of movement happening on the Pac-12, and it's the first time in my lifetime that I'm saying the Pac-12 might be the best division in college football. It is.
Washington,
it is right now.
Washington is really fucking good.
I know. I gotta see the quarterback. I haven't been watching this year. I gotta go and watch him.
They look really. They just look They arguably look like the best team in the Pac-12 right now. They just look fucking good.
I mean, they're still ranked over USC. You're saying still?
Yeah, USC had another struggle, man. Their defense is weird, and it just seems like it almost seems like part of me is those kids know they're better than everyone, but they're kind of like biding their time until they're just in the league, kind of thing. I don't know. Arizona State sucks, and they kind of struggle.
It does happen. Like it happens to the Cowboys, right? You play down to your who you're playing,
especially. And you know what? You see Colorado on the schedule.
Yeah.
Maybe you don't even really think about Arizona State. You're just get the fuck out of here. Let's go kill Deion again.
Yeah, that's true. But I think do you agree with me that the Pac-12 is probably the best division right now? Yeah, like I mean, absolutely. Out of the Big Ten, you only have Michigan, Ohio State. Out of the SEC, you only have Georgia and Florida State.
And arguably cut it there. Like
Florida State's not that bad. Good to me.
They're ACC.
Oh, they're ACC. Texas is what?
Big 12 still, but they'll be in the SEC, I think, next year.
I was already writing them off the SEC.
So, yeah, the SEC is Georgia. I mean, can't even throw Bama in there because that was the ugliest 14-point win that they've probably ever had.
We need that to come through, though.
Yeah.
But hey, it was a good week. Nothing big coming this week in college games as well, I would say. Maybe one or two that are decent. I think that Utah-Oregon State game should be one that people should be paying attention to. Penn State, nothing too crazy. Now, you took Kentucky over Florida. Are you falling for the hype of Kentucky?
No. So this was honestly before the season started. I looked at this program and I was like, they're always one of those teams that are going to win 8, maybe 9 games and like play tough.
Yeah.
And in this world of transfer portal players, they have the kid Devin Leary, who was at NC State for years. I think he's a Jersey kid. I just think
yeah.
So that's what that to me.
Okay.
Like you see what and again, I'll bring back Notre Dame. I know you don't mind, but that's almost like what's setting Notre Dame aside from past Notre Dame teams. Like, okay, we finally have this veteran quarterback who is here to win. I think it's kind of the same thing with Kentucky. Like they finally have that veteran quarterback who's played in big games before. What I'm doing is kind of fading the hype of Florida. Now, Florida won me a bet, 2 weeks ago on the Liam's lock when I picked them to upset Tennessee, and they did.
Yeah.
But now I'm kind of like going against that grain and going almost against my own words of saying they're only going to get better and better. But I just see Kentucky's like they're just fucking tough, and it's not in the swamp; it's in Kentucky.
In Kentucky.
So that's why I'm taking them.
Yeah, man. I think the games to watch. Of course, you have USC, Colorado, Georgia, Auburn. I say Georgia's going to kill that one, but no matter what, it's SEC. It's a big game. And then I don't know if you care about it. You follow Bussin' with the Boys, but the Bussin' Bowl, Michigan versus Nebraska.
Oh, that's right.
The Bussin' Bowl is Michigan, Nebraska. It's in Nebraska. But I think they're only favored by like maybe 14 or so. Like it's low.
I think it's like 6. I think it's up to 16 now. I saw this.
Oh, it is. So it's not that crazy. The big game that I'm putting money on with my week's parlay is I'm taking Ole Miss to beat LSU, and that's my like shocking one. If that comes through for my parlay, I'm going to be so happy at the end of it, because I don't believe in. I think Ole Miss played a fucking good game. They were up against Bama. They didn't have the talent to pull it out.
One of those teams that they always struggle against. You almost take that with a grain of salt.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And like I said, this is a little cheat code I'm putting out there before the league starts seeing it. You start seeing high overs and high unders, is that because of that time, the clock running until it's the end of like 2 minutes left, you're going to start to see these overs or unders are going to be easier to play. So I would definitely say, like, if you see something that's like an under 46, 55 points, like I would take that in a heartbeat betting. So my big parlay I have going forward is Michigan versus Nebraska over 39.5. Georgia versus Auburn over 46. I can see Georgia just pulling away with that one if it goes bad. And then hopefully the Ole Miss straightforward beating LSU. I'm getting into this betting now, bro.
I was going to say,
figure this out this way.
We got to talk about it a little bit. I mean, you're 9-5, 9-6 on the year.
Yeah. So
and then the Liam's locks last week 5-0. Look, if you tailed it, you put $100 down, you won over $1,000. We're here to win you money. We're here. That's all we want to do. You don't want to hear us talk. Like, we're here to win you money.
Yeah.
I can run through some of my picks really quick. So let's see. So we talked about Kentucky. I'm going to take them to win outright. I'm also going to go with LSU. I'm sorry, Ole Miss over LSU.
Yeah.
And it's kind of that twofold. Like, it's like I think Ole Miss has looked good, and it's just like Bama's the thorn in their side, and I think they come back out. Notre Dame to cover 5.5 against Duke.
So what does that mean? You're saying they're going to win and
they're going to win
by 5?
They're going to beat them by 6 or more.
So they have to win?
They have to win by 6 or more.
Okay.
Notre Dame. And Duke's looked good, but this is one of it. And I'm almost going against my word of like, go against the team that's had an emotional win or an emotional loss. I kind of just think the opposite. I think Notre Dame can say to themselves truthfully, there is still an avenue for us to make the playoff, but it starts by we have to fucking rail Duke. Like, we got to go and beat a top.
I don't know why college game day is at Duke Notre Dame.
That, I guess it just shows weak.
Duke, but Duke is all hyped up this year. Like, Duke is really hyped up. Yeah,
that's what I mean. I think they are going to come in. They played Clemson and railed Clemson week 1, but I think Notre Dame's just going to come in and be like, look, we got to fix whatever went wrong. We should have won that game against Ohio State, but there is still an avenue for us to make it. So I think they win big. NFL, I'm going to go Jags in London. The Jacksonville Jaguars that will one day be the London Jaguars, so a home game for them. Cover 3. They were embarrassed last week to your Ohio State boy, CJ Stroud and the Texans that looked kind of frisky.
Yeah, he's coming back, man.
Exactly. But look, you lose to a team that was projected to finish dead last in your division. You were projected to win your division. You get embarrassed like that, they're going to come back and win. Ravens are 3-point underdogs against the Browns. Browns are too much hype right now. And those divisional games are always close. And the Ravens are coming out of that overtime bad loss to Gardner Minshew and the Colts at home last week. So I think the Browns just get brought back down to reality. I might even take the Ravens to win that game, but I'll take them +3. And then finally, I'm going Bills over Dolphins. I saw a stat that teams since 1975 that have scored 60 or more points are 1-7 the next week.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Really?
Everyone I feel like is going to be on the Dolphins. They look great. I know we were talking that work on Josh Allen, so it's literally like I'm just going against all my words here. But I think it's going to be one of those things where everyone's going to be like, oh, fuck, Dolphins.
Yeah.
The Bills are like, no, we still run this division. Let's show you. So
the Ravens fucked me last week. I really thought they were going to pull that one out. That bullshit. So are you really here for the hype for let's end with the two craziest games, the Miami and then the Battle of the Bums coming up next week, right? Or this week. Do you really feel that Miami is that good of a team this year going forward? Like, do you think they're going to win that all right, win out the division?
It depends on Tua. It always has.
Yeah.
I mean, we saw what happened to him last year, and I hate to say it, and I guess you can say this with everyone. He's one bad hit away from like retiring.
Yeah.
Has to be after what we
Yeah.
saw last year. I hope he stays healthy,
Mhm.
and if they do, like, look, man, that's one of the best offenses, arguably the best in the league. They have
Yeah.
that offensive genius head coach. They're gonna get Jalen Ramsey
Fucking
back. I
hate
don't even
him.
think he's playing yet. So like
I
they're
just
gonna
hate
have. I know, I do too. He's corny.
such a dweeb. But that's
But
the way of the league now. That's what they call them,
I know.
geniuses, right? They have to
I
look
know.
like that.
I saw
Literally.
him like talking in the locker room after the game, and he looks like I don't even know. Like he looks like a senior in high school. That's
Yeah,
like the
yeah.
manager for
But
the high school. Like he
can
doesn't
you
even look like he
imagine
belongs.
Kyle Shanahan, all of them are like all in the same, like they come from the all same tree. So they're all
Yeah.
like those guys that are just geniuses when it comes to sports, the X and the O's. Last thing, fuck the league. Get my boy Justin Fields out of Chicago, please. Like, I just want to save him and say, come over here, bro. Like, it's you guys. It's
You
fucking
might.
Chicago. It's not Justin Fields. It's fucking you guys. So if Jerry Jones, you hear me, fucking go get my boy, please, so I can fucking have a winning year. If you put Justin Fields, that's the only time you will ever hear me. Liam, if we get a guy like Jalen Hurts at quarterback, you will hear me say this is our year. You guaranteed you hear me, and I would stand on the rooftop and say that's our year.
He is going to be available if things don't change because the Bears have their pick and the Panthers are 0-3 too, I think. So like right now, the Bears would have the 1 and 2 pick in the draft.
Yeah,
they would go after
take him.
Fields is going to be gone. He might not even finish out the season the way this is going.
That's fine with me, bro. Save him for us. I get my boy out of there, please. I fucking hate seeing this happen to him in Chicago. I think it's just Chicago's just doomed. But hey, man, check out. Make sure you follow us on Twitter. I don't even know the Twitter. What is it? At We Trust _podcast. I make it that as well. But follow us on Twitter for all the locks going forward, all of our bet slips, and for more clips as well. Follow us on the Instagram at We Trust _podcast. Listen to us on YouTube. Subscribe to the YouTube to support and watch the visuals as well to see us get heated. Facial expressions and not just the audio. Listen to us on Apple Podcasts, SoundCloud, and Spotify at In Those We Trust Podcast. And follow Liam on the Instagram at
Liam Stokes 11.
Appreciate you guys. Trust up.
Thanks, Lee.